Hello, this is Clemmy Games and welcome to a first look at Butcher, a side-scroller shooter platformer which can be best described as 2D Doom. This was developed by Transhuman Design and released on Steam in October 2016. For disclosure, I received this game for free. In Butcher, you play as a cyborg who is programmed to eradicate the last remains of humanity and, as the trailer puts it, are relentless, unstoppable, and whose only purpose is murder. The pixelated hyperviolence is really cathartic, and my overall impressions are really positive to the extent that I would actually recommend picking this game up for yourself. The control scheme in this game is really interesting, in that while it is a platformer, the game does translate first-person shooter controls into a scheme which is both familiar and effective. WASD controls movement, while Q and E switches weapons. F is your use key, and space is the jump button, with mouse to aim, left click to fire, and right click for a melee attack. I found this to be strangely familiar, and it does work really well in my opinion. While there is a controller option, I would highly recommend not using one, since the action is really fast-paced. Sticking with the mouse and keyboard is also thematically appropriate in my book, since the game is old school in that way. Having played through the initial portion of the game, I played around with the chainsaw, shotgun, and assault rifle, and found myself relying on the shotgun the most, since it does do massive damage and usually one-shots enemies. The two main types of enemies encountered are simple grunts on foot, as well as grunts with jetpacks. Enemies have an awareness radius, which will display an exclamation sign above their head when they see you, providing good visual feedback for your location. Enemies that are killed also drop precious ammo, and this pickup does expire if you don't pick it up in time, which forces you to rush headfirst into the mayhem. I really enjoyed this aspect of the game since it sped things up tremendously. In fact, the minute-to-minute action does remind me a little bit of Hotline Miami, in that once enemies are alerted, it is a frantic fight for survival until all the enemies are dead. The game is split into distinct levels, and you have to run, gun, and jump your way through them. Level designs are interesting, with the occasional arena thrown in as well. Elevators feature heavily in this game, and it sets up the potential for chaos since enemies spawn in and traps go off while you are simply trying to ride the platform down. The main collectible in this game is skulls. A helpful counter in the level select screen tells you how many skulls you have collected, and we even have secret areas to explore, which is a nice bit of retro-inspired level design. While the tile set can be described as generic industrial complex, this did not detract from the action and the feel of the game. Speaking of art design, I commend the developer for blatantly going after the low-res pixel art vibe, which, right off the bat, screams retro-inspired to me. The game is a love letter to games like Doom and Quake after all, and I feel that Butcher does a fantastic job in capturing what made those games so special. Furthermore, the low-res pixel art do help in portraying the ultra-violence of the game, in that the gore is not too offensive or grotesque. Giblets are of course a part of games, and Butcher does do it tastefully, or as tastefully as you can I suppose. The sound design in Butcher is also really fantastic. Everything from the gunshots to the scorching of flesh to the groans of your enemies are all really well done. This is all set against really good, heavy sounding tracks, which again is Doom-like in this respect as well. The game is also on the more difficult side of things, which is good in my opinion, since gamers often complain that games nowadays are too easy in quotes. The trailer itself states that the easiest mode is hard, and even playing on the easiest difficulty, I was having some trouble here and there. I do love a good challenge, and hence will continue to play through this game. Finally, I want to touch upon some points mentioned on the Steam store page as well as its trailer. It mentions that there will be additional weapons like the grenade launcher or the railgun, which I am assuming will be unlocked in the later levels, so this is something that I am definitely looking forward to. We even have vehicles as enemies in the trailer, which does look like a good bit of fun and challenge since these do seem to have a lot more HP. Overall, I found Butcher to be a fantastic game due to its fast-paced gameplay, the feel of the weapons, and the art and sound design. Really not much more that I can add to this, so please check it out for yourself if you like what you have seen thus far. Anyway, that will do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, leave a comment if you like. Thanks again, and I will see you in the next video.